Hello and welcome to Let Them Trade. This is a medieval trading game where you attempt to make the best towns possible and optimize their trading routes. If you'd like to check it out, there is a link in the description, and you can also play the demo right away if you so desire, as well as add it to your Steam wishlist. And as you can see here, welcome back, my dear subject. Welcome to your first real job. Isn't this place lovely? Trees, mountains, and by the scent of salt on the air, the ocean must be nearby. Do you know what would make this place even more beautiful? If it were economically productive, of course. Today, your goal is to build up a basic economy with all the resources which the peasant inhabitant class needs. Potatoes, wood, fish, and wool. I've built a research center and a provisioner to speed things up a bit. Let's get building. Alright, so obviously you have the wiki here. If you so desire, that means that you can take a look at some more of the mechanics in the game. I've gone through both tutorials. There are two tutorials, very nice and simply explained, and I'm going to try my best to make some good cities here. There are no cities here, so we're going to have to start from scratch. You know how this goes. Start with two cities, one which produces potatoes and one for wood. Alright, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And what we should do, we can choose where we want to go. So you can see here, we have the basics down below. We have peasants, so you can create peasant homes, lumberjacks, potato farms, and then you have your castle here. But we don't actually need to do anything with the castle because our friend the king there has already done everything we needed to do. So, the research center and so on and so forth, we don't need to do any of that. So we are otherwise going to be constructing a city center, and we want a city center right next to these forests, I think, probably around here. And we want another one, probably around here. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build a road, but we need to get a bridge first of all. So we're going to get a bridge, probably... actually, you know what? Let's not do that first. Let's get a potato farm. Let's get 2 potato farms, I think. 2 potato farms, probably pretty nice. Let's get peasant homes and another peasant home. Let's get 2 peasant homes. And then we are going to build... let me see here. We're just going to unpause the game so we can actually get that going. And then we're going to be getting a lumberjack, 2 lumberjacks, and then we'll get another 2 peasant homes. And there we have it. Alright, that's looking pretty nice in my opinion. It looks pretty cool. And you can see at the top of the screen what they're called. You can see that one is called Wolf Ridge and the other one is called Kingsmere. And you can see exactly how happy your citizens are and exactly how much money you're making from each one. And there are so many analytical tools in this game. So just bear that in mind. There are some crazy cool things going on with that. Anyway, we've already completed this, and now there are side quests, of course, and you can see here that every single villager is simulated as far as I can tell. So in other words, every single time you have a resource going from point A to point B, you're going to be seeing that in real time, which I think is actually very cool. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to connect our cities with roads. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to do, wait a minute, I need to get a road. So let's get the road right there. Let's get the bridge. Boom, there's the bridge. And then we can get the road, and the road is going to go straight through there. And then we can also make the road go that way if we want to, I think, as well. It's probably a good idea to make it go into the castle, just in case. You never know, right? You never know. And otherwise that's good. There we go. Good. Now a happy population wants more than just the very basics. They also want some luxuries. I, for example, cannot imagine life without my solid gold and mother of pearl jacuzzi. It's these simple pleasures that keep you going after a hard day's work. In the case of peasants, their luxury resources are fish and wool. You'll need to build 2 new cities, one for sheep farms and one for fisheries. Sheep farms can be built on any green, fertile soil tiles, and fisheries must be built on fishing ground tiles. Don't forget that these new buildings will need to be researched at your castle. Firstly, send your knight to go and scout. I'll highlight a tile for you to show where the shoreline is. And we can see here, the map is going to expand. Look at that. Oh yeah, it's pretty massive. Also, by the way, if you zoom all the way out, you can see that this is literally a game. This is literally a board game, and you can see someone's slippers right there, and I personally think that this is extremely charming. Look at this. They literally even have the box created over there, sitting on the chair, which I think is very, very charming indeed. I love it. Okay, so otherwise, yeah, so we are probably going to go and scout that in just a moment. Yeah, so we should probably go ahead and do that, shouldn't we? So let me see. How do I do that again? There we go. Set the scout to night, set the night to scout mode, and we are going to go over there and scout that. And there is Sir Fenric. Sir Fenric is going out, and he's on his majestic steed, and he's going to do a great job. And yeah, so we should probably get some wool, shouldn't we? We should probably get some wool going. So I actually don't know where to put that, to be honest. I think I'm probably going to be putting it probably over here somewhere. Can I actually scout this as well? I actually don't know whether I can scout that as well, to be honest. Okay, is he actually going to do that? Oh yeah, let me actually just speed up the game slightly. There we go. Everyone, he's now scouted that. And he's now scouting the next one. There we go. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, he's doing all the scouting over there. Reveals one tile for every scout package. There we go. And we've now discovered fish. There it is. There is the fish. And now we can create a city center right there if we want to. Unfortunately, we don't have any extra scout packages here, so unfortunately, Sir Fenric has to now go back and regenerate his scout package. And then he can come back and do the same thing again. However, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the little flag over here because I want to try to create a wool producing place over in this direction. I think that's probably going to be slightly better. I am going to have a bit of a problem with dealing with the other place though, so I will have to send Sir Fenric back there as well. Yes, we're not getting too many. Yeah, these are mountainous. This is mountainous area right here, so this is not particularly good. All right, yeah, this is not great at all. Okay, so we'll place this round about here, and we'll just have him go there now. I don't really need to expand that anymore. And yeah, okay, I actually do need to research that, don't I? So we need to research the fishery. Well, we need to get the sawmill first, don't we? So let's get the sawmill going. And now that we have the sawmill unlocked, I can now place that roundabout here if we want to. We can place it there as well, but that's obviously, as you can see, going to take quite some time in terms of travel time. That is indeed one of the things that you're going to have to look out for. So we're going to build that roundabout there. And I think you can actually build roads in around these areas as well, which may in fact be a good idea, because if you do that, you're going to have a much faster time. I could be wrong about this, of course. So maybe it's a mistake to do that, but I'm going to do it just so that I can speed people up a little bit. And it is going to cost me a little bit of cash, but I personally don't really mind that too much. But I think it's going to be a lot quicker than what we have going on here. And yeah, my fellow is just continuing to scout around. I think it's probably a good idea that he does that. And as you can see, we have scouted out fishery areas. And yeah, he's just going to continue scouting. I'm just going to literally let him continue scouting as much as possible. And we've already researched the sawmill, so we're now going to get the fishery researched. And the sawmill is obviously going to be done here. By the way, you can upgrade every single building, and you can also change some of its peculiarities. So in other words, you can modify it to produce certain things or make certain changes dependent on what you want it to be. Very, very important, very impactful as well. Okay, so I'm actually going to just create a couple of extra roads here. And I'm just going to make sure that they're all connected. There we go. And yeah, I think that's probably going to be fine. I don't really need to do much more than that. And we will want to construct a city, probably round about here. And we're going to move his little scouting thing probably there. doesn't really matter either way. And there is Nettlefoot. Nettlefoot has been created, and we are indeed going to now build... Well, I don't have the fisheries yet, but we are going to build a couple of peasant homes. So let's build 2 of those. And we're going to get the road as well. There's the road. Boom. Nice and quick. And technically... I'm not entirely sure if I really appreciate it going that way, to be honest, but I guess it's going to have to do. Let's just build these around about here. There we go. I think I did it, didn't I? Yeah, they're connected? Yeah, I think they're connected. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so my fishery is almost done as well. And we're going to start trading to the place over here. As you can see, we're going to start doing that in just a moment. And they're probably going to need things, you know, they're probably going to need things. And actually, speaking of that, I should probably upgrade. I can't do that right now. Yeah, I can't do that right now because I'm currently researching fisheries. But I am going to need to research some other stuff. Like, you can obviously get level 2, level 3, level 4 on certain buildings, and then you can increase the amount that you produce as a result of that, which is actually extremely impactful in my opinion. Otherwise, we're just going to build another road right there. There we go. I just want to make sure that we are as connected as possible. Let's actually just do this. There we go. Nice. Okay, that is all I wanted to do. And the fishery is almost done. Alright, so we've now researched our sheep farm, and I have advanced both of these cities, Wolfridge and Kingsmere, to level 2. And that means that they're going to gain a variety of benefits, for example, additional city transporters, city traders, increased city size limit, and indeed a number of other benefits too. Now you can see here that we've also instituted our sheep town, and I am going to be getting that. There we go. There's the sheep. So we're going to be getting one here, and I think that's probably going to be good enough. I think that will probably be good enough for us. And then I can get the fishery done as well. I actually stopped the fishery research because I wanted to get the sheep done first, and hopefully there it is. There's the fishery now as well. Wonderful. Unfortunately, we need to go here to do this, so let's do that. There we are, and we have another one of these. Well, we have 2 more fishery spots over there, but I am not going to create a a town just to get those. We can also obviously connect the roads over here, so if people want to travel through Silverfield, then they obviously can, which I think is probably pretty good. It might actually be better for them to go that way, to be honest, but yeah. Anyway, so Fenric is still going around the place. He's still, you know, scouting around and everything and doing a pretty good job at it. And we're going to upgrade Nettlefoot to a village. We're going to upgrade Silverfield to a village as well. More transporters never hurt anyone, except if you're Jason Statham, of course. And otherwise, we should be good. Yes, we should be absolutely fine. And I am very much loving this game, and the reason why I love this game is because I am usually very much a huge fan of economy simulation. And it's quite funny because usually you'd think, oh no, I'm not, because let's face it, I'm not the brainiest individual in the world, and you know, generally I feel like economics isn't really the most stimulating subject ever. However, the way that this game makes it happen, and look at what's happening right now. Look at this. Look at all the little guys. You know, all the little guys running around, you know, taking all their little things from point A to point B. It is just magnificent, and I love seeing this in action. And I'm sure you will as well, because I mean, look at how charming this is. Look at what I can do. I can zoom in all the way. We can literally see that there are a handful of villagers looking around. Look at this. They're just sitting around this little campfire here. It is so nice. Anyway, great. Congratulations. You now have an economy with the basic and luxury resources for the peasants. That was actually all I had planned for today, but it is so nice here now that there is lovely trade going on. I've decided that this would be a perfect place for me to build a holiday retreat. You know the type. a little tower where I can put up my feet and look out over my domain, watching all those people out there toiling in the dirt. What can I say? You've got to have your little hobbies. You don't mind doing a little overtime, do you? Great. For the tower, you're going to need a few extra resources. Don't forget to do some more research. Alright, so that basically means that what we need to do is we need to upgrade a couple of things, right? So we're going to upgrade our, let's upgrade our lumberjack a little bit, right? And let's upgrade the potato farm, and we'll upgrade, let's see, probably the fishery and the sheep farm and all that stuff. We could also technically get the tavern as well if we wanted to, and we could also upgrade the peasant home if we so desire. And I think I will. Why not? You know, why not? And as you can see, we just need to hold this. We need 300, actually. We need 300 tax income, and we need to hold that for 60 seconds, which is a whole minute, which actually isn't even that difficult, actually, surprisingly enough. That's not that difficult, but yeah, it might be a bit troublesome. And as you can see, we've now unlocked a modification. This is what I was talking about earlier, where you now have the ability to give yourself additional inputs, which is very, very cool. You can also upgrade your lumberjack any further as well, which is really, really nice, as you can see right there. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be getting the upgrade, and we're also going to be upgrading our potato farm, so our potatoes over here, and we're going to be attempting to get the modification as well. As you can see, we gain an additional 50% input from it, and we're going to be doing the same thing once again with this. And this is exactly what you can do. Everything is going to start going absolutely crazy. And look at that, the fishery now is at level 2 as well, and we don't have a modification here because we need bigger boats. We need the sawmill to be level 2 to be able to do that. However, I can upgrade the fishery to level 2 immediately without instituting the modification, so we don't really need to worry about it too much, but it's probably going to be a good idea to do that when we can. Otherwise, you can see here we also have the ability to do mountain goats. So that's when it's adjacent to a mountain tile. So this is really, really good actually. So if I do this right here and I do this particular modification, this is going to provide us with 10% additional output because we're right next to a mountain tile. So that's going to be extremely useful. Otherwise, we're just going to continue upgrading, and we're going to upgrade some of our peasant homes here while we can. And we are slowly look at my cash. Have you noticed my cash right now? My cash has dramatically increased. The reason for it, we're doing increased trade. We gain 25% of every single trade that happens in our kingdom. Because of course we do, because we're the king. We have the ability to mooch off everyone, of course. That's what we do, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, our peasant homes are obviously now being upgraded as well. Very nice. They're going to get additional. They're going to get fiber optic broadband, aren't they? Yeah, that's what they're going to get. And we also have the tower here, which we can indeed build, and we can build it pretty much, well, anywhere we like. Probably going to build it here. Boom. There we go. And we can obviously connect it to the road. There we are. Fantastic. That's going to be done relatively soon. And you can see here that I'm almost at 300. And yeah, we are just about over it. And now I am actually going to be researching the sawmill level 2. All of that research went very, very quickly, as you can see. And where is my sawmill? My sawmill is over here. I will be very, very quickly upgrading that so that we can increase the output of our fishing boats, which is going to be extremely nice. And there it is, there's level 2, fantastic. Now we can get bigger boats for the fishery, which is exactly what we'll do. We can also get stronger fishing lines if we so desire, but I personally think bigger boats is the way to go, because that gives us an additional peasant slot, so that's what we'll do here. And let me actually just see, the other one needs that one as well, there we go, fantastic. And we're going to still be upgrading that. We still need planks to upgrade that. And speaking of that, I do need to upgrade the sawmill. So that is what we're going to do. We're actually going to be getting another upgrade for the sawmill. Let's get level 3 on the sawmill there, because this thing still hasn't been upgraded to level 2 just yet. And it looks as though our tower is going to require a certain extra building, which I didn't realize, but it's called the quarry, and we're going to need to research that, and maybe the wheat farm as well. And you can see here, Yes, indeed, we will need the wheat farm. So that's what we'll need to do, but I'm gonna leave that for you to discover as and when you play Let Them Trade. There is a link in the description if you'd like to check it out, add it to your Steam wishlist, or play the demo. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.